in-depth conversation. So we just can go ahead and people still coming in. Let me give it a little minute then. Okay. Thank you guys for joining in. We appreciate you guys coming in. All right. So I can go get started with the intro while people are coming in. Hey, Chris, 98. Appreciate you for coming in today. I know it's like Wednesday and everyone's getting ready for the debate, but we know Kamala going, so we ain't got nothing to worry about. But before we get ready for the debate, get our wine, because I don't know how we're gonna get through.
We can't say that. I gotta listen.
Okay.
We can't say we know who won. We need them to go vote.
Vote, sis. I love that. I need that shirt.
We need you
everybody
to go vote. You can't assume nothing. That's what we learned. You can't assume nothing.
You can't assume nothing.
We can't assume anything.
Yes. Everybody needs to get to the polls.
Everybody needs to get to the polls.
Tell a friend. Okay, so Sydney said there's a little echo on Facebook. So she said, can you put your earphones in, but you can still have your computer muted?
Yes.
Thank you for joining, Only Samantha. All right. So while we're doing that, already went. I know that's right.
That's right.
And make sure your ballots are right, you guys. Make sure your mail-in ballots are right when you're doing that. Voted today. Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Maylot, for joining us. Okay, so I just want to get started and just tell you guys about the She community before we get into this deep conversation. Can you hear me? No, I can hear you on the Instagram. I don't know. What happened? Is your mute camera up?
No.
Thank you for joining, Andrea. I can't even hear you on the other thing either. Okay.
You can't hear me? You can hear me now though, right?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Perfect.
But I don't have my headphones on, so I don't have my headphones plugged in. Is that going to create the echo?
I don't think so.
Sydney, if it do, I'm gonna move my other computer away.
Okay.
I'll move it away. Can you see me?
Mm-hmm. See you in the light is perfect.
Okay.
So hey everyone, thank you guys for joining in to the She campaign. Today we're going to be talking about sexual health and healing after domestic violence and self-discovery after facing trauma. So if you're not familiar with the She campaign, sexual health and everything is our mission is basically to decrease the stigma surrounding HIV and other STIs, and also acknowledge that sexual health crosses so many different topics such as nutrition, domestic violence, COVID-19, dating, religion, things like that. So today we have Tei Pearson here. She is the founder of Love Advocate. She has a lot of history by providing advocacy and resources to those who experience trauma and abuse. I want you guys to give Tei Pearson a warm welcome. We're going to get into some things today, y'all.
Listen, I hope they ready.
Yes. So we can actually go ahead and get started. And I want you guys to be interactive. This is a discussion. We're not experts. We do provide resources. But I like to say I'm not the expert. I'm the messenger. So, okay. So she says echoing real bad on Facebook. Okay. So again, we just want to kind of get into some of the things that we know. We all know what domestic violence or intimate partner kind of is, but a lot of times we don't think about it in the world that we face today. So I want to go into the because this is something I've seen on Twitter. So basically, I saw one of my followers on Twitter. They were complaining about their apartment neighbors. They were loud. They were going at it. And she was like, no, this is going at it. I don't know what's going on. And I've seen that a lot on social media, now that we're all in the house. So I want to know, when is it okay for us to step in? Because a lot of times in our community, we think that's not our business. And, especially in light of brutality and what's going on, when is it okay to call the police or call for help?
Wow. So that's a good one, right? I think maybe a year or so ago, I may have had a different answer, right? And it would have been, if you don't want to get involved, and you go ahead and call the police to kind of just get resources there. But like you said, given where we are in Black America and our relationship with law enforcement, for the most part, it's difficult. It's difficult to tell someone to call the police, because we know that one of our sisters is gone, because someone called the police. However, if you aren't trained to kind of go in and provide protection, provide support, and all of that, then you need to still be calling 911. And I know it's difficult for folks to say, because, in our community, it's a difficult relationship right now. However, someone's life is on the line. However, someone could need some medical attention that you may not be trained to provide. And so, unfortunately, not unfortunately, I have to say that the answer is still to call the police, because you still want to provide support and help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So naturally, Ken said, I always call. And I think that's a good, because I remember you had reiterated in our private conversations, it's like, okay, so if we all say we don't mind our business, then what happens to that individual?
So what happens is that the individual is stuck. And so our community has a big way of saying, mind your damn business. Can I say damn?
Yeah, okay. Talk the way we talk.
Well, mind your damn business, right? And so it's like, oh, no, that's not our business. You mind your business. And more so, I would want to say more males probably tend to say that. Oh, no, mind your business. Because women, some of us is just, no, I know me, I'm nosy. I'm real damn nosy. And so if I hear a scream or a get off of me, like my head is turning instantly. Just to kind of figure out, and I've intervened. I'm not telling people to intervene. I'm not telling, let me say that again. I'm not telling people to intervene if they see a physical situation going on. But I am saying that you need to do something, because doing nothing means that you're doing nothing. You're standing by and allowing some violence to happen.
Right, absolutely. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. I kind of want to.
Shantae, what's up, baby?
Yes, I kind of want to challenge that and ask, what if the abuser is not threatened by the police, or what if the victim doesn't feel safe or protected by the police present?
That's a tough one.
A lot of times they will go and come in, because I guess what I'm asking is, okay, so they de-escalate the situation, and they figure out that, this is hypothetical, they de-escalate the situation, everyone goes their ways, and, the individual still has to go home, and this is their home. So what's the next step in that situation?
So let me give you a live example of what you were, thanks, Shantae. What's up, Jazz? So I was at the hospital maybe a couple weeks ago in the ER, and there was this lady sitting 6 feet, but still close enough for me to not mind my damn business. And she was, kind of holding her phone or what have you. And then at some point, I guess her partner came, and her partner came very masculine, very like, I don't give a damn. That's the attitude. I felt it when she walked past me, right? And so I instantly was like, oh, shucks, here we go. Like, I'm here to ain't nobody trying to have all this stuff going on. So she kind of like plops down in the seat next to the woman, and I found out at that part that they were together. And she basically starts to question her about where her whereabouts were for the day. She's like, let me see your damn phone. So the girl kind of like pulls her phone away. And so let me see. I'll say 1 and 2. 1 is the lady that was sitting there. 2 is the one who came in and asked for the phone. So 2 comes in and she's, she tries to answer the phone. So 1 is like, no, I'm not giving you my phone. You broke my phone before. So now my ears is really like perked up. And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. I'm gonna have to be an advocate while I'm trying to be seen by a damn doctor. Right? So I'm sitting and I'm listening. So then she goes to jump up. 1 jumps up. She snatches her phone and she jumps up. And so she acts like she's on it. So number 2 says, well, who you on the phone with? So she's like, I'm talking to my sister. So she's like, well, if you're talking to your sister, then, basically why you talking to your sister? And let me see your phone. Because if you was at your sister's house all day, then there shouldn't be no text messages between the 2 of you. Right. So I'm like, oh, man. Okay. So now she thinks that she wasn't where she was supposed to be. It was a whole cheating situation going on. And then kind of add insult to injury, I guess some point was like they were there for some kind of STD testing, right? That 1 kind of pulled 2 into. So 2 is already upset that that's even a possibility, right? So 1 jumps up and she runs over towards the security guard. So security guard basically standing next to the real police. So the real police kind of looks at 1, pushes 1 kind of behind them. And yes, I'm nosy for y'all that's trying to pay attention. I'm nosy and I got all of this. So then the police kind of stepped in, kind of like guarding, right? So number 2 was like, I don't give a damn about no effing police. F the police. You don't live here. You got to come home. That's when, I guess security maybe more so perked up, right? The police was kind of like, okay, well, go on, man. We need you to go ahead out this way, right? So they escort her out. She's out front. I'm sitting by the glass still, not minding my business. And they took number 1 towards the back. Shut up, Christine. So they took number 1 in the back. So I'm looking out the window, what have you, and I see number 2 is kind of just sitting out there. And then like in comes this group of women. And so they like, where's my aunt so-and-so, so-and-so? I still don't know who they're talking about because I ain't never catch no names. So then I look out the window and they want to talk to number 2 who was sitting out front, right? So I'm like, oh, damn, she done called the whole squad up here to like do something with this lady. So when I end up calling my name, I go in the back. And so number 1 was kind of standing back there. And I told her, I said, listen, ma'am, I don't want to get in your business or anything, but I just want to let you know that the lady that you were having a disagreement with has a bunch of folks out front with her, about 4 people that I've saw. And so I'm not sure whether you live together. I'm not sure whether, you are maybe concerned for your safety, but I am. And so I told the nurse, I told the doctor, and they end up escorting her out to the backside of the hospital and getting her a Uber home. But I also told her, like, you need to make some decisions, make some supports, because it was very real of what her partner said. You don't live at the hospital. And so that was like your question, Jalynn, of like, what happens when they do have to go home? Or when your partner isn't scared? Because like, I know some folks that's like, that's the police.
Right.
Or you can call them and they ain't coming in my house. That's the thing too. And then we add the other piece of like, are we gonna end up alive? Both of us at the end of this call for the police. And so that piece in itself is a whole nother layer to it. But I think that it always goes back to safety first. And we just have to pray that the police that show up is the police that took the took the vow to protect and serve, and not destroy and kill. So I think that's kind of the avenue that we're in anytime the law enforcement has to get involved.
Right. I like what you said, that you stepped in and you made your presence known and let her know, what was going on that she was probably not aware of. So now I kind of want to shift into asking, how do you support one who is, who is going through intimate partner violence or domestic violence, what have you?
You went out.
Let me turn around. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was asking because I like that you said that you provided information so that she can, get some resources. So I would like to know, how do you support someone who is suffering from or living in intimate partner violence?
She said the sound is muffled.
No, the sound is muffled. It sounds like a fan is blowing.
Are we back? Thumbs up. We back? Y'all can hear us?
Okay, they can hear us. Okay, sounds like air is blowing. I don't know.
Oh, that's my fluffy fan. Hold on. Jasmine, you know I'm fluffy. I be needing a fan. Hold on. She is embarrassing. Don't embarrass me like that. Is the fan, is it better? Let me get a real fan. Yeah, is that better?
Okay, so
Sorry, that was my fluffy fan. Could you repeat your question for me again? I'm sorry.
So basically, you said that you provided her with information and whatnot. I wanted to know, how do you support someone or support a family friend or a friend in general, or someone that you know living in intimate partner violence? Because a lot of times, if you can talk about peer support, if someone discloses their situation to you, I guess, how do you move forward with that?
First, you want to, okay, so I think that comes in different layers, right? And so for someone to disclose their story to you, there has to be a relationship of rapport. So you guys have to have a trust relationship. And I think the first piece to that is to only offer the support that you can really offer and sustain. Because if you say, girl, you okay? Like, I noticed that you had a little black eye the other day, right? So anybody, the most common answer is like, oh, I fell, right? And so what do you say for me? You say, oh, okay? Or where did you fall from? Like, so then that's like that piece there. And that is determined by your relationship. But I also think that if you suspect that someone close to you is being abused, that you're going to start to just gather resources. When I used to work at the shelter, to run the hotline, I used to have folks call me, like coworkers, people that lived in apartment buildings. I recently had a young lady referred to me who she lived in the same apartment complex as one of my buddies. And she called and she was like, I think you need to talk to her. I think I'm being abused and this and this. And I told her, look, you can give her my information. She opened up to you. So because she built that rapport with you, then if you want to give her my number and tell her to call whenever it's safe for her to call. That was, another, because it wasn't like I was just jumping in there causing more harm. Then say like you, Jalynn, say my friend Keisha, right, was being abused, and you're the advocate. I wouldn't go to you and say, hey, Jalynn, can you call Keisha for me, right? Because Keisha don't know. Keisha's partner don't know. And so here's this new number coming up. That's one. And here's this new person coming in. That's two. And here's this new conversation. That's not going to work. And so you want to use those people that are close to the person, or you want to build your own rapport with that person, because their rapport brings trust. Trust brings brings conversation. Conversations bring that I can open up and know that if I come to you with something, you're not going to judge me. You're not going to talk about me behind my back. My business is not going to be out on the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. That I know that I can trust you with my secret, because it is a secret when people are being abused.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say, if you know someone that is being involved, we got to. I choose helping my friend move into her home before publication. Exactly. I'm with you naturally. You want to offer your support in whatever way that looks like. And so I think when we were talking, Jalynn, I was saying that it's important to say. So I have this thing, and it's probably like a blessing and a curse for me. But if someone texts me, I feel the urgency to text them right back, like, and let them sleep, right? Because just the work that I've done, and I know the effect of me missing a text message. If someone's about to, commit suicide, or, they're in danger, like if they call or text me and I don't respond, and I tell them that I'm available, call me whenever you need. I'm always here for you.
I love that.
Call me. I got you. Whatever you need, I got you. That's the kind of stuff that people say, right? And it's like, it's different to say things. It's different to say things and mean things and put action behind those words. And so you can't say, girl, call me anytime. Whatever you need, I'm always up. If you need me, come get you. I'm gonna come get you. You ain't got no call. How you gonna come get somebody, right? How? You cut your phone off on do not disturb or airplane mode or whatever at 10 o'clock every night because you like to get 12 hours of sleep.
Right.
You can't be that sort of friend. Know your capacity. Know your capacity and what you can offer, and be clear about what you can offer. Now, girl, if you need a place to stay, I got a couch for you. You need a ride, I got you. You need help with your children, I got you. You need some money, I ain't got you. I'm still waiting on my stimulus check. You see what I'm saying? So it's like being honest about what you can offer so that people know your expectations.
No, I really like that because a lot of times we over project or we over compensate what we can do, but the situation is presented, we can't do it. And kind of defeats the purpose of even saying that. So
but also another piece of that is like you may not physically be able to do any of that. So even like the young lady that would need a ride, right? And if you like call me, I got you. You may not have a car. Let me come back and say that you may not have a car, but you got an Uber account. You got a Lyft account. You know, your uncle will still drive the red cab. So whatever way you need to use, you can still be a benefit if that's something you can still offer. But like, it goes back to just being very transparent and honest with yourself and your friend. But being there, you got to be there. Because if you're not there, if you could tell me I can call you at any time and I call you and your butt not there, I'm not calling you no more. And so that one time that I call you that you think I ain't answering, here she go with the same story again. She ain't gonna leave him. He ain't gonna leave her. He ain't gonna leave him. She ain't gonna leave her. Like, whatever their dynamic is, and like you're like, I'm just tired of them calling my phone. I'm tired of them texting my phone saying the same thing. Oh, he hit you again. Okay, want me to come get you? No. Okay. All right, girl. See you tomorrow. That's dry as hell. You can't do that. You can't do that because that one time that you think that is what's the boy on the boy who cried wolf. Yes, so like you're doing a boy that cried wolf, and like people get tired of you calling, then you ask out when it comes to like your friends showing up. So like don't cry wolf either. Let me say that too. But the other piece is whether you think somebody is crying wolf or not, you are obligated as their friend to show your ass up each and every time that they call you. Because you may show up and not see anything happening, but something could have just happened. Or maybe their abuser is a punk and not going to show out in front of other people. So they're not going to hit you while you there. So that's why your homegirl called you, girl, why don't you come over here for a second? You're like, I don't feel like it, but you show your ass up. Yeah. And you sit there as long as your friend is giving you that eye, because we know our eyes from our friends. Mm-hmm. And you show up and you show out because you could be saving a life. You don't want to be a pallbearer. You don't want to do the woulda, shoulda, couldas at a funeral. I should have answered the phone when they called. I know I shouldn't have said. Show up. If you don't show up, you ain't no damn friend. You're an associate. Get to the back of the line.
I love that because I always thought about, you show up for a friend, say for example, you're in that situation and the victim is there with their, I guess, abuser. And what do you do in that situation? And sometimes, you just need to be there. And you don't have to have that conversation with them. You know about the situation. You can just bring that up at the time.
And you definitely don't want to bring it up at that time because what if, so this is what I think should happen, right? So if you have someone that you think is being abused, you have to have that side conversation. That showing up at the house and having it, girl, come in, let me talk to you in the room. That ain't the time. You sit yourself on that damn couch and you do whatever, or the floor, whatever, you sit there. Wherever they are, you sit there. And you act as normal as possible. If they're acting normal, you act normal, right? And so because maybe he don't know, or maybe I don't want to keep saying he, maybe their partner don't know why you came over. And so like me, if I would have got a text, oh, Jalynn, you're like, can you just come over here for a minute? And I'm like, you good? You can say no. Guess what? Oh, I'm showing up. I'm bubbly. Oh, what's up, brother? Oh, what's up, brother? Like all of that, because I'm gonna be as normal as possible until you stop acting normal. When you ready to fight, I'm ready to fight too. Unless there is something going on, like I really feel like you're not safe.
Right.
Then I might just jump in there and say something and be ready to fight. But yeah, that's another conversation.
So Black woman Riser said, don't engage with the abuser because that's dangerous. But Brittany says she's pulling up. So I guess there's different opinions about, I guess gauging if it's safe or not, but I guess you know your friend, you know, you had that relationship. So I kind of want to go back into some of the things that I've seen in the news as it relates to social media and domestic violence. Because a lot of times these things get unnoticed. And I guess this is called recognizing the signs and the red flags. So there's some things that I've seen and just heard. I want to talk to the first one that kind of about how has impacted intimate partner violence in general.
And I want to say, yes. Hold on, without a plan. And so, yeah, Kia, you're right. Leaving definitely takes a plan, and I'm glad you said that because I definitely want to highlight that for folks. You have to. The person has to have a plan. You can't be like, "Girl, pack your stuff. I'm leaving. I'm coming to pick you up right now." That might work for some. Let me not say that doesn't work. That does work for some. But you, for the most part, you want to have arrangements. You want to know somewhere safe that they can go that the abuser may not know, right? So you can't say, well, I don't want to say you can't say. If you flee to your mom's house, your abuser may know where your mom lives, right? And so are you really safe at mom's? Is your mom really safe there? That's right. And if you ain't the pull up person, don't pull up, because I got some friends that's not pull up people. But they will find the heck out of resources for when I pull up and I have resources in hand. And so, no, that goes back to being honest. It goes back to being honest and being transparent about who you are and what you can offer safely. The other part is that you also want to, I lost my train of thought. You also, the safety plan. So it takes safety planning for a victim to leave, as safely as possible. And so if you are trained to create that plan with a person, get them resources and get them in touch with an agency, a person, an organization that can help them come up with a safe plan, because that involves work, it involves school, it involves a village of folks of support, it involves outside people, moving sometime, money, a lot of times, children. It involves so much to just say, which is all of that goes into why people don't leave sometimes too, and so your support has to be your support, and you have to be clear about what you can and can't do.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, love that. Be safe out there. You're not alone. Yeah, that's the main thing today. We just want to let people know that you're not alone when it comes to it. Because this is something that's common, but that's why we're having this conversation, so we know how to assist or advocate when it does occur.
Right.
So, and I love that you talked about that, because I hit a lot of what we were talking about. So, as you guys know, I've seen in the news that COVID has impacted intimate partner violence, domestic violence. I heard that there were, skyrocketing people, are just tired of being at home. But I want to go into social media and what are some recognizing the signs that someone is experiencing violence on the interweb. Because that's sometimes
right. It does. And it actually is very, very common. And so because it's common, I guess the best thing to say is social media has changed the game. Social media has changed the game for a whole bunch of stuff. One of it, like you were saying, is about violence, domestic violence, intimate partner violence. Intimate partner violence is those folks that you are had an intimate situation with, you are ex or current partners, or you've been married at some point. Right, there we go. Possessive comments on the pics, that's right. And you're not locked into your number 3 boys. You're not necessarily locked into your abuser. You don't have to be. I'll say that. You don't have to be. There's different ways to kind of get away from that situation. Some of it takes time. Some of it is immediate. Some of it takes time. And it all depends on a different person's situation. But some of the things for domestic, for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all of these different platforms. So I've seen actually a couple. I've been tagged in a whole lot of them too. Is the stories and the videos, right? And so it's the videos of the abuse, and this is what so and so did to me. This is the picture of what so and so did to me. I think the real jacked up part, though, Jalynn, to be honest with you, is the comments. The comments that go under those. And like I said, I'm nosy as hell. So I read comments, especially in the middle of the night. I can scroll and read a comment.
That even makes me think of Megan Thee Stallion, and she felt obligated to post her gunshot wound. And then the comments behind that was just, and coming from women, I was very surprised. And, I just, that whole victim blaming. Well, why did this happen? And who was he dating? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, she was abused and she was hurt by a person she may have been intimate with, but she was shot by a man. And to me, I don't even have any words. I'm not too deep into that, but you go ahead and say what you were saying.
I'll say it. I'm gonna say it. Okay. So because Meg Thee Stallion and what's the dude name? Tory Lanez, right? Because they are so well known, right? They are they celebrities. So if she's getting as much backlash from a gunshot wound that was on TMZ, that was on every damn network possible, she still, as a victim, did not feel like she was accepted as a victim enough, so she had to publicize a picture of her gunshot wound, and then have to go on defense to say, but no, I was defending him so that the police don't kill him. So even as a black woman, I hope I'm getting trouble for this, but even as a black woman, she felt that she had to protect her abuser and not defend herself. She just started defending herself maybe like a couple days after everything broke, right? Because it was like, well, maybe he didn't shoot her, maybe she didn't get shot. And then it was like, when does the victim have to prove any of this? But this dude can still be publicized. People still listening to and buying his new damn CD. He has not been canceled. He has not been canceled. He has not been canceled. And he pulled the trigger on a black woman. I'll say that, and I'll leave that. I don't too much in that. But the thing is by her being a celebrity and him being a celebrity, and like the culture around them, it's like protective of him, exiling her. Maybe she deserved it. Maybe she shouldn't have been talking about her mouth. Like all of these victim blaming, right? That's happening publicly to celebrities. That same stuff happened to us regular people.
Exactly.
Us regular people on social media. So if someone puts up a picture of a black eye, is first thing, oh, there you go attention seeking, oh, there you go being thirsty, oh, there you go doing this and there you go doing that. But no one says, oh, but man, you shouldn't have put your hands on him. Or sis, you shouldn't have put your hands on him. Or you shouldn't have put, whatever your dynamic for your relationship, hands need to stay within boxing gloves and in rings. Right. And so because they see this playing out, it's like mostly every other thing. Some stuff within our culture, we want to pull a flag. We want to, oh, nah, because da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. But then it's like, well, hold on, wait a minute. So she's not a woman? Meg Thee Stallion wasn't a woman? She got shot. She got shot. So I'm confused. Even if we go all the way back to Rihanna and Chris Brown. Right? That was public knowledge, public news, where they both had to kind of defend themselves, and it was like a him versus her situation. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who put their hands on who first. Hands need to stay within rings and within boxing gloves, not within relationships, homes, and on vulnerable people. So I would say if you see something on social media and you even think if it looks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And so if you have the capacity to assist, and we go back to capacity, reach out, send an inbox. Hey girl, you good? It's that simple. Hey girl, you good? I saw your post. You good? Because if you thought somebody had the same baby mother, you'd be asking. Let me not even go there. That's another show. So mind your business when it involves other people. That's what I'm saying. So social media, because everybody is closed in, and I want to go back real quick, Jalynn, to what the level 3 boys. She was saying that the abuser, you're stuck with your abuser during quarantine. And so that definitely agree. So that's a whole nother thing, because we all knew, or not we all knew, some of us knew of folks that we just thought maybe being in the situation, right? That before COVID, when the world was open, folks was going to work, folks going to the club, folks doing whatever you need to do. And you'd be like, hey, something ain't right. Like, you just felt like maybe somebody's partner was too controlling. Somebody's partner wouldn't let them go out with the girls without maybe them sitting in a car, right? And so like all of these signs of like, okay, but now it's COVID, right? And so folks, like the young lady was saying, folks are locked down and have been locked down. And we're talking about children stuck with their abusers, men stuck with their abusers, women stuck with their abusers, because you couldn't really get out. So that means that the control was costly, right? Because who you gonna call? Who coming over here? Ain't nobody going to somebody else going over here. So even if you were like, well, I'll call Jalynn to come over. Jalynn is COVID. So are you still going?
I'm going.
Okay.
Put my mask on.
I'm glad you said that. I was coming through the screen. Put the mask on. There you go.
Put my mask on.
There you go. Because the abuser is betting on that. Right? The abuser is betting on that. You're like, oh no, that's just Jalynn. You know, Jalynn ain't been no damn where. She's scared of COVID. She must fine.
I'm fine.
And Jalynn, you should on that damn couch, bring hot or water or whatever, and you sit there because the abuser is betting that during COVID, nobody is coming over, nobody's going to check on nobody. They're not going to be able to come out and go to work because everybody's damn near remote now. The kids ain't going to school, so the kids are stuck in this situation. And so now, even more so, folks need to pay attention and don't mind your own damn business. We are everybody's business. We are collective. We can't say that we are one when we got all these damn exceptions. Exactly. The abuser think that the pandemic helped a lot of abusers. It did. And it silenced a lot more victims too, because they may have been just close enough to their plan being executed. They could have been at the last phase of like, you know, getting their plan together to leave or, you know, start some job, money. Like they could have been in the last plan. Now COVID came and shut all of that down. Right. Check in on your friends. If that was your friend before COVID, they should still be your friend. You should still care whether they're being abused. You should still give a damn whether they're okay or not. And if you don't, then you're an associate. Get to the back of the line.
Right. Our battery shelters do. Okay, so yeah, we were actually gonna get into that. So our shelters and resources open during the pandemic. So, like, say for example,
most of the larger agencies, like the shelters, the hotlines, the attorneys, right, the hospitals, the fire departments, the churches, most places are still open in some physical form, or have response teams that can get to you. And so if you call a hotline, the hotline should still have someone manning the hotline to talk to you. If you are looking for shelter should have space or be able to refer you to a place that has that space. But shelter before COVID was an issue. So, like, you know, during COVID is probably definitely an issue. However, hotlines are still working. The mobile crisis lines are still working. 911 is still working. 311, 211. There's resources still available during COVID.
And I do want to provide like a quick resource before we get into healing. There's one thing I saw on TikTok. They were calling the police. Yes, I love TikTok. I gotta get off of it because I keep on buying from Amazon, all these Amazon favorites. And I saw this young girl. She acted as if she was calling the. Well, she did call the police, but she called the police and asked for a medium pizza. So apparently, that is a way that you can, I guess, let the police know or let someone know that you services. And then we talked about a couple things. You said, I think it was like pocketbook or lip or something. What are some other ways that you can let someone know? Like it's important to have like maybe in a space where your friend who had the capacity to help, so that you know that is going on. They need your assistance, or they need you back. calling the police and saying telling your friend, oh yeah, girl, listen, or whatever have line of touch on it. So, go ahead.
And like you said, be creative. And so like that's part of the conversation as friends of like, girl, like, you know, once they open up to you and they disclose kind of what their situation looks like, if you could say, okay, so if you ever need me to come, you could say, hey, can I borrow your jacket? Right. And so that's, you know, that y'all might not even be the same damn size. So if she asks you to borrow your jacket, you know that she needs you to come over. Right. And so if you say, you can have something else like that means like right now, like red, like I don't know, like they can text you red, and if you see that word red, and it has to be something short, right? But something that it would be odd that they texting you, so that's enough to like make you, why are you texting me red, right? But I would text something the same thing of like red, because I was like, why the hell is Jalynn texting me red? Oh, okay, let me get my shoes, right? Because now I don't even need to call you. I just need to come and knock on your door and say I was in the neighborhood, right? Or if you say something, red can mean call the police and send them to my house right now, right? And so you have to be clear within the capacity of what code words you want to use, because you want to be able to do safety things, but you also don't want them to text you and you show up and like now your life is in danger. So that's a whole nother thing too, because we know that there are secondary victims. And we know that DV is probably one of the most dangerous calls that even law enforcement. And so you want to also make sure that you're safe. Because I get to talking. Let me go back and correct that. I don't want you just showing up at somebody's damn house knocking. Right? Be safe. Be safe. Be safe about whatever you're doing for you and for the person that you're going to intercede with. Oh yeah, there is an SOS feature on Android too. We ain't gonna talk about just iPhones because I'm team Android. Team Android, you can send it takes and look at your settings. It sends a text message out because mine did it by accident when I was on a work trip. It sends a front picture of you from your front camera, a picture from your back camera, your Google location, and like a 5 or 10 second voice clip. From whenever you hit this button, it does all of that simultaneously. And so it sends out to whoever you designate as your emergency people. Once again, don't put the people on your emergency list that you know don't check their daggone phones. Don't put the people on your list that you know their phones are in the bottom of their purse. People like me, because I always got my phone. Mm-hmm. You want to always got your phone because you don't want to. Right, Android too. That's right. You don't want to tell somebody red and you someone getting abused, damn near murdered, and like they sleep or at the damn club virtually or whatever. So you want to make sure that you check your phone. That's a safety precaution. Even when you're walking, not even just DV. Have the app open if you're walking in a dark area and you feel unsafe. Have it open where you just have to activate it, just in case you have to show your phone or whatever.
And another thing I like to do, and this is just in general, I always share my location with all of my friends. So, I mean, we have it already because of like previous vacations and outings in general. But, I mean, pick a couple of people that you want to share your location with at all times. And I know sometimes people don't want to do that because you don't want people all up in your business. But again, the friends that you trust, or the people that you trust to have that information.
Well, once again, you should only trust your friends. If you can't trust them, they're an associate. Their ass is in the back of the line.
Exactly. So we're just 15 minutes of closing. I want to talk about how to heal after experiencing abuse. A lot of times, when I think about those who experience domestic violence and just this type of trauma, I always think about how do you experience pleasure after that, and then how do you reclaim your sexuality after that. So can you speak to that? I like that cut.
Why? Thank you. So healing takes time. I think that's probably my first thing. That healing takes time to take your time. And the other piece is, I think it's a person's personal journey to be able to reconnect back to those pieces that they have lost throughout their abuse journey, right? And so if a person was sexually abused, within their, their relationship. That can go both ways. They can either turn off completely from sex, or they can kind of go into sex. And go into means like, you become a sex addict, right? Or you, or people will say promiscuous or fast or roller, whatever all them negative terms are about sexuality. When the reality of it is that a person can take their situation and reclaim it whatever time they're ready to. And so if it's no different than a person who's been in a DV situation and like their self-esteem is completely jacked up, right? And it's like, but damn, don't even look at me. I don't feel cute. I don't feel, whatever. I don't know how to dress. I don't know how to get anything together because their self-esteem has been so damaged, right, by their abuser. So then you tell a person like, reclaim your stuff, reclaim your glory, reclaim yourself, find yourself, do this for yourself. And like, they're taught self-esteem things, self-care. Everybody knows self-care things. So it's like, well, what can you do for self-care? What can you do for self-care? This. And so no one really talks, not no one. There's rarely time that people talk about the sexual piece. And so I'm glad that you asked that, because it's very, very important for a woman to say, I don't want to be touched, right? And I don't want to be touched, probably never. But then also coming back and saying, okay, touch me here, touch me there. I want this person to touch me, but not this person, and so I think that all of that takes time, but it should also be something, a healthy conversation that me as a, if I was abused, I should be able to talk to my friend and say, girl, I want to be dating again, but I just don't know how. Or, right, Christine, hurt people. And so that's where the therapy comes in. I am an advocate, Jasmine, I'm glad you said that. I am an advocate of mental health. Yeah. We talk about it open in my house, from my 156-month-old all the way up to my 45-year-old husband. We talk about mental health openly because it's so vital. And I think that we're in the we've changed the narrative within our culture about counseling, therapy, and assistance. And I think that it's very important that for like sexual health, sexual healing, that you reach out to the right people. And there are therapists that specialize in sexual healing. So you want to do your research. You want to be the person that's going to fit within your healing that you need for you. Otherwise, it could be detrimental. Your behavior can be destructive. Your mindset can be destructive. And it also puts a blockage in your absolutely. You have to heal all different, your mind, your body, and your soul, right? And so part of that body is your sexual piece of your body. And you have to say, if you get pleasure from having sex, you have to. Like, I'm a survivor of multiple sexual assaults. And some folks were confused about how I become a sex addict. Like, how do you become a sex addict when you've been abused sexually, right? And it's a mindset. It's something that was programmed in my mind by myself, and my abusers early on. But now I'm able to say, so was I really hot? Was I really fast? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But I did it because I wanted to. And it was me expressing myself. Some may see it as being destructive, right? But I think, depends on I enjoyed the time, but could I look at it now and say it was destructive? Absolutely. But has it helped me in my journey for myself? Absolutely. And so I feel like, but I also have my group, my village, my group of friends that I can go to have very open conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Imani mentioned peer support groups as well. Because a lot of times I was looking, I hate to get all my stuff from, I like that you talked
Jalynn,
about.
you went down.
I went down? Can you hear me now? Uh-oh. Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay. Because I like that you talked about that, because these are just self-coping tactics that people have, whether that is hypersexuality or substance abuse. But I think it's important that we do seek some type of therapy support group, because a lot of times when these things happen, because we feel alone. So I think
Judge.
Judge. Oh, and judge. Yeah, absolutely. Because what if this, this happened and you're part of a family and you have to continue to see this person? I even think about those instances where you have to keep on seeing the person at family reunions or family engagements and things like that. That can be traumatizing as well, or triggering.
Or you see this because your family and friends still hang out with them and they don't want to believe that he abused you.
Right.
Because we could talk about that too. Let's talk about Michelle. K. Michelle was another one, a public celebrity. We talked about what her ex-friend, fiance, or whatever he was, Memphis did to her. Boy, and they dragged her. They dragged her through the weeds of saying she was not abused the way that she said she was. Until years later, he confessed on the damn reality show. Then it was like, oh, K. Michelle, we sorry. We just thought, because he treated us so different. Every abuser don't abuse every person that they're with. Right. And so, it's kind of, but here we go again, another celebrity who was dragged. And so regular Tanya, who is being abused, may not want to come and say nothing because her friends was judging K. Michelle. So if you judge K. Michelle, you definitely gonna judge regular old me. But once again, them as associates, they get to the back of the line. Your friend's not gonna judge you. Your friend's not gonna question your decisions that you're making for you. They may ask you for some insight. They may provide some more insight for you to help kind of guide them, right? But they're not going to judge you. Right. They're not going to judge you. If they do, they ask you to back them.
Okay. And I want to talk about, because a lot of times I remember just hearing about when R. Kelly, that information came out about him abusing people, and they were saying how do we break the cycle? Should we heal abusers? How do you heal abusers? I mean, because of course they go to jail and whatnot, but how do we break the cycle of abuse? And then, because I remember they were talking about how he was abused or sexually abused as a child, and then that's why he, did what he did. So I want to know, how do we break the cycle so that doesn't occur? Because that happened when he was 6 years old, they said. And then he did what he did for so many years to so many different women. So I want to know, how do we break the cycle? And, should we look into healing for their abusers?
Right. I picked the phone up for this one. Mind your business. Look at my people always in my business. But so R. Kelly. So I'm gonna go back to what Christine said. The first thing I gotta say is hurt people, right? And so statistics say hurt people. However, as a person who's supposed to fit into that statistic, I can tell you that it's not completely true. I started being molested at 4. I've never molested anyone. Right. I want to, never wanted to, but I took my pain and turned it to me doing advocacy work. And I took what I went through to kind of help other people kind of process through and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a road less traveled, right? The road, and he got to the 4th, and he decided he was going to go right. And so that's not an excuse for behavior. That it gets to a certain point where you know right from wrong. His ass is a grown ass man, and he knows right from wrong. Him being molested as a child, trash. Me being molested as a child, trash. Therapy helps, prayer work, village helps, but we not say, oh, I've been watching all this because I was touched and nobody got my help. Because you was old enough to get a record career, you was old enough to travel these worlds and get on all these tours and all this stuff. You could have hired all these people to make all these arrangements because you can't read. So like the same way you done did all that, you could have hired a therapist to help work through that sick stuff that was in your head. So the answer to breaking the cycle, talk about it, hold folks responsible, whether they are Kelly or they Paul, like my cousin. Okay, so it doesn't matter what their stature is, whether they're celebrity, whether they Mr. So, cousin so. It doesn't matter. We have to talk about it. We have to call them to the damn carpet and hold them accountable within our own families, within our own communities, and within our own culture. We can't be waiting for the law enforcement to hold folks accountable, because what we know is victim blaming is real. So a lot of victims not gonna come out. Right. But do you need to know that he touched 30 women? You need to know he touched 1. because the one was too many. So we all, if you know someone, call their asses out. They shouldn't be allowed to come to functions. They shouldn't be allowed to hang out at the 14 parties because I'm gonna out you. If I know you in the comments, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna drag your ass through social media.
Why are you here? Bye.
Hold you accountable. And I think that's the way of breaking the cycle. Calling a thing a thing. That's exactly what it is.
Absolutely. So before we close, I want to talk about some resources. Can you talk a little bit about Love Advocates and what you guys offer?
Sure. So Love Advocates was an agency that I founded out of love. And like I said, I like to be an advocate. I worked in probably 5 or 6 different types of nonprofit type work. But I just love to help. And so Love Advocates was breeded out of a mission of love. And anyone can be an advocate. You got to just be able to help and be able to commit to helping within your capacity and doing it out of love and love for just humankind. I just have a love for humankind. So we help if you need public speaking, if you need mentorship, you need education stuff, let me know. My daughter's also a love advocate. She has a little piece that is more about her teen group. You know, she 156 months. For those that can't count that fast, she's 13. And I just feel like people that were new babies, they always. So I feel like I wanted to do that too. Yeah, we're here to help.
Yes, we love Love Advocates, and some other resources is Maryland Network Against Domestic Violence, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and the National Domestic. Okay, so the Safe Line, the RAIN.org, Child Help and National Child Abuse Hotline. But we'll, if you join the community, which you don't have to pay for, it is free. We will provide all that information after today, and it should be posted on our website as well. I mean, on our page as well. But we do encourage you guys to join the community. There's a lot of perks of joining the She community, such as conversations like this T-shirt. We got a mask if you need it. I know it's kind of hard to find masks. Masks are just so hard to come by, or they're super expensive. So you have a nice fabric one. Water bottle, stay hydrated. Nice little gym bag.
Lanyard. I'm gonna need all of that.
Got you. Okay. We got pop socket. We got a lot of things and some chapstick because we don't want your lips to be crusty this winter.
Right. Especially behind that mask.
Ooh, I've been experiencing that. But so we have a lot of different things coming up with She, along with this resource. I do want to ask one question because someone did submit this question to you, to us. T. How do you recognize emotional abuse?
So emotional abuse usually shows up as verbal abuse, right? And so I don't know why I keep putting this phone in this camera. It's hard trying to look at two different things. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Oh, we got 3 seconds.
Okay, emotional abuse is usually verbal abuse. And so it's things that it can be verbal or nonverbal, and it's going to affect the person on an emotional level, right? And so you want to make sure that you pay attention to those things because they don't leave scars. Huh?
It's 20 seconds anyway. I'm done. But we'll provide the answer to that question in a clip. But we want to just thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Again, join the She community. There are a lot of perks. Next month, later this month on October 28th, we'll have an OBGYN talking about women's health. So we'll see you there. Bye, y'all.
All right. Peace.